Illawarra, they have to win, and then hopefully in a couple of days' time, from their point of view, Balmain to pull off what would be the shock win of the year. So Illawarra, they bring the ball back on the first set of 6, and Fritz it is. Touch on Steve's role, I would imagine, next Friday, later in the Oh! Another big one on Johnston.
It was Steve Crow again forcing the mistake. Newcastle with the ball. That's Johnson well and truly
he's got to be penalised. Johnston, he was in Disneyland. He saw a red and blue jumper, so he grabbed it. Oh, God, he took a hit.
Well, he's been binned for 10 minutes. That's pretty harsh. Johnson had a few words to say after the penalty. There's no doubt that he was offside. I don't know whether he was still recovering from the hit. It was a good one from Steve Crow. Normally it's Johnson giving these ones out. Ball came out. He stood straight up. Sargent got out from dummy half. Peter Johnson, well, wouldn't be surprised if he's had something to say to the referee, and that's earned him 10 minutes in the bin if the referee was in two minds.
Well, this kick for Andrew Johns, we'll see him surpass John Schuster's points in a season record for the Knights. 152 set in 1992. And the first points of the game go to the Knights. Off the boot of Andrew Johns, they lead 2-0 after 9 minutes of Friday Night League. He wasn't successful. Glanville came in with Crow. They completed the tackle. Simon works on the blind. McGregor finds himself in space. The support arrives, and Simon couldn't pick it up.
There was a magnificent tackle there by, I think you'll find it's Mark Glanville, arguably Newcastle's best player over the last 3 years. He's been their most consistent player again this year from the matches that we've seen. McGregor was away, the inside ball to Riolo. Look at that tackle. Classic stuff.
He typifies Newcastle to me, Mark Glanville. Tough, unstoppable, never say die, and turn the other cheek if at first you don't succeed. Matthew Johns showing it, and then Muir, then Johns. Great support play, then across to his brother. He goes for the line. Oh, Davis, he gets the cream. Robbie O'Davis. Oh, the Johns brothers. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, it's great work there from Newcastle. That had probably been coming for a little while. And again, the catalyst was the 6 and 7. But it was great support play from the number 1, Robbie O'Davis. Beautiful ball left to Adam Muir. Doubled around Matthew Johns, stayed alive. Select pass back on the inside. It was a line ball one. There's Callaway trying to come up. And then a lovely little offload to Robbie O'Davis, who again has been up looking for the football every time they've had possession. But aren't these players of the future? Matthew and Andrew Johns. What about a little offload here at the end? No dramas at all.
And Illawarra out wide always seem to have problems in defence, and we've seen it the last couple of weeks.
Andrew Johns, he adds to the joy of Brisbane and the woes of Illawarra. After 25 minutes, Newcastle 8. Doing it for that man, I guess, more than anybody else. 8-0 over Illawarra.
A very deep line here for Illawarra.
Air to McGregor, the run around, the decoy runner, Riolo, rushes away from Herman, Nigel Roy, he can see the corner, will he make it? Yes! Nigel Roy gets it down, it's a try. A set play that worked with absolute precision for the Illawarra Steelers.
Yes, the depth was a key element for Illawarra there. The run around, again, proved very fruitful, but a bad missed tackle. I think you'll find it was Herman who gets stood up here. There's the second man pass. It's still one-on-one there. David Riolo on Herman. But Riolo inside his man, set up Nigel Roy. Mark Glanville there in coverage. He's been all night, but a very, very good change of pace from Nigel Roy to stand up the lock forward.
Yes, he did well there, Roy, to get over the line. There was a bad mistake there made by, I think it was O'Davis, who went in on a play. He didn't have to, he was already tackled. And over in the corner goes the Steelers for their first try of the night.
Wishart then from the sideline. It doesn't look too bad. Oh, it's a great kick. He knows something about pressure. He seemed to be a part of the Johns machine, if I can describe it that way. And why wouldn't you be? Richards, clean break, in space, inside the 10. He'll go all the way, will he? No, he's short by a metre. Not even that. Oh, good committed run by Richards. McCormack at receiver. Andrew Johns. Matthew. Sargent round the decoy and Farah umbrellaed up in defence. The Knights again. Glenville. Stands and offloads. There's a try. Andrew Johns gets in. Newcastle leading 12-6 now.
Well, the Knights not getting up off the line there, able to get the football away. This was a bust. Ian Russell, a very bad miss there. Wayne Richards looked like he was going to go all the way, but a try saver from Roy and Riolo. And then from the next ruck, you'll see here, Glanville goes the blind. As we freeze it there, now this player here, I think it's Andrew Farah, hasn't reacted. You can see that the player coming in for Newcastle is going to take advantage of the fact that the number 6 was lazy. By the time he'd reacted, Andrew Johns had got through the gap. Ordinary defence on the inside of the ruck. So often we see it lead to tries.
Johns converts. That happened half an hour ago and you had to bring it back up again. Thanks very much. I'm glad you're not an enemy. 14-6, the Knights over the Steelers at Steelers Stadium, adjacent to the Wollongong Ocean. Good defence by Newcastle, though. Simon goes open to the blind, turns it into the centre. Cross, gets it away, it's no try. It's gone forward, the pass to Callaway.
Well, so close. Again, the referee was in pretty good position there. Dean Callaway backing up. John Simon knew that John Cross was back on the inside. That pass looks fine. Let's have a look at the end one there.
Oh, that's dead set gone backwards.
Yeah, he's reached back to get it, Callaway.
Nothing wrong with that. That's a dead set try. So they've been robbed there, the Steelers.
Are you sure? 14-6, the Knights. Air. McGregor leaves it behind. Then he straightens up, gives a pass. Touched by Newcastle, that's play on. Simon is with it. Simon held 32 metres out from the Newcastle line. Penalty. Now this could be the bin. It is. Sin bin for Robbie McCormack. 30 metres out on 5. Simon, will he put it through the hands? He goes to the air. Oh, it's a shocker. Back for Illawarra. And Big Johnston. Inside for Pinchinelli. Outside for Simon. Then for Wishart. And Illawarra score. An unbelievable try. I thought Peter Johnston had bombed it when he didn't go left. He came back right. And I thought, oh, they'll crucify this big man tonight.
But what a great kick this is by John Simon, Rabs. Fantastic kick. It goes out wide. And Peter Johnston just having a bloods back on the inside, looks up, no one in front of him, away he goes. Picchinelli's in there. I thought there's a dummy there, he would have scored Picchinelli. But in the end, Wishart out wide. Great Illawarra try. What a kick.
Yeah, Picchinelli actually had a player on his left unmarked who would have scored under the post. See, Grogan there fell for the dummy thrown by Peter Johnson. Peter Johnson's the last player on the last tackle you want with the football in his hands. He's a fine player, but not when the kicking game is involved. Picchinelli had a man on his inside in Callaway who would have scored under the post. This just makes it a little bit more difficult for Wishart, and that's why you can see Herman was spoken to after the try was scored. There was a knee around the head area of Wishart in scoring the try.
Here's Wishart then, not to be denied. He puts it over the red dot here. So now we've got that finish that I was talking about. Newcastle by 2 points, 63 minutes gone. Now McGregor comes up from a deep position out wide, as if he might be going to run the decoy. Pinchinelli, 25 metres out from the line. The last is on.
It's been successful once. Should put the ball into the air again with a good chase. Simon to the right of the ruck. They've got a penalty.
Well, do they take the kick? Keeping in mind that 1 point is no good to them.
I wouldn't be. If I was in their position, I'd be going for the try. Mark Sargent's been called out once again to talk about these infringements around the play the ball. They're probably lucky not to have someone else in the bin. It must be remembered that McCormack has been in the bin for the last 8 or 9 minutes.
Yes, he's only got 2 minutes to go, Paul.
2 from 2 for Wishart, and he gets it. So 14 points all now. 69 minutes gone.
Might not have it. Last tackle here. There'll be plenty of pressure coming through.
In actual fact, it's the other John's boy. He'll have a lash. Left footer. Oh, he's missed. Bad luck for the Knights there. They could have gone to the lead.
Dean Callaway, good work there. Realised the importance of putting pressure on Matthew Johns.
They're 15 out now. Newcastle on the last tackle. Matthew Johns, Robbie O'Davis, a face ball intercepted, and one of Illawarra's heroes. He's away. The try they've been begging and praying for comes for their favourite son, Rod Wishart.
And it's deja vu. The same thing happened last year with Rod Wishart scoring 2 years ago against Manly at this very ground. Scored, no, it was actually a Brookvale.
It was Michael O'Connor's send-off.
That's the one.
You're close.
He spoilt the party that night too.
Well, Rod Wishart, everything on the line here, got up into the back line of Newcastle. They looked like they had to score. In fact, I don't think the cutout pass was what was needed. If the Knights had have gone bang, bang through the hands, I think they score. Wishart, he was on his own. There was no support players in defence with him. And look at that. Luck's a fortune.
Are you ready for this?
Mate, I'm only playing as I want to play with Arthur. That's the only reason I'm playing, mate. No, it should be good. It'll be a lot of fun.
20-14 for the record books in favour of the Steelers. And Illawarra, they'll run no risks, I wouldn't imagine. They've been running a risk for almost 80 minutes tonight. Walsh held on the 40-metre line. There it is! The siren, the end of the season, perhaps for Illawarra. Certainly for Newcastle. 48 hours for the Steelers to wait approximately to see if Balmain can do them a favour, which would send them into a playoff on Tuesday night. 20 points to 14. They came from the rear. Never really looked like they were going to win, and then all of a sudden they put a bit of polish in their work, and they've come home victorious in front of their crowd in the final round of the Winfield Cup of '94.